Close your eyes, dear listener, and let the night embrace you. In this gentle journey, we will wander through the forgotten temples of time, where ancient symbols still whisper their secrets. Each story is a soft thread, weaving peace into your heart as the world around you grows quiet. Together, we will drift through sacred signs and hidden meanings, symbols carried by ancient cults and faiths, each glowing softly like stars upon the dark canvas of night. These are not tales of fear or power, but of serenity, of the soul's quiet search for the divine. Tonight, let the language of old symbols become your lullaby. Let the stories soothe your spirit as dreams carry you beyond the edges of the world you know. If this journey brings you peace, gently press subscribe so you can return here whenever you need rest. And if you'd like, leave a quiet comment sharing where in the world you are listening from. It will feel like we are all dreaming together, under one sky. Night has settled, soft and endless. You are resting, eyes closed, with your breath moving like a quiet tide. A dreamlike stillness surrounds you, and into that stillness, a story begins to bloom. Imagine an ancient landscape, touched by the first light of dawn. The horizon glows with gentle fire, and there, rising slowly, is the circle of the sun. Round, golden, and whole, a perfect shape that has captured the gaze of humankind for thousands upon thousands of years. The sun's circle was once painted on cave walls. It was carved into stones, pressed into clay, and cast in shining gold. Wherever people lived, they turned their faces toward it. Its light warmed their skin. Its return each morning promised life, and its absence reminded them of mystery. To them, the sun was not only fire in the sky, it was eternity, it was hope, it was the endless circle that never breaks. The circle, simple and perfect, became one of the first symbols. Children of the ancient earth drew it with sticks in the dust. Priests pressed it into sacred tablets. The circle had no beginning, no end, only movement that returned again and again, like the breath flowing softly through your chest now. Close your mind's eye upon that circle. It is the same shape you see in the glowing moon, the ripples of a pond, the rings within a tree, always whole, always complete. In every place, the circle sang the same quiet song, that life does not vanish, it only turns. In Egypt, the sun's circle was drawn with wings stretched wide. They called it the disk of Ra, the great life-giver. Priests would raise offerings as the first light touched the sand, whispering prayers as the day unfolded. They believed the circle held both fire and protection, an embrace of light that kept away the shadows. Far to the east, on the plains of India, hymns were sung to Surya, the radiant one. The chariot of the sun rolled across the heavens, carrying the world forward. His circle was seen as the wheel of time, turning steadily, carrying past into present, present into future, with no end in sight. Among the Greeks, Helios rose with golden horses, his chariot wheels glowing like fire. And in Rome, Sol Invictus, the unconquered sun, became a symbol of triumph, the circle that never falls, always returning, always rising again. And beyond these names, beyond these myths, the circle was seen in silence by shepherds on lonely hills, by mothers nursing children in the glow of dawn, by travelers looking up for guidance in the empty desert. The circle spoke to all without words. Now drift closer into this circle. Imagine it above you, not harsh or blinding, but soft and golden, glowing like a candle in a still room. Its warmth does not burn, it comforts. It lays across your skin like a blanket woven of light. The ancients believed this circle held more than heat. It held the promise of return. Just as the sun set, it would rise again. Just as seasons passed, they would come again. Even when lives ended, the circle hinted at another beginning. This was renewal. This was eternity shaped into light. The circle of the sun was also the circle of the soul. Always moving, never ending. A reminder that nothing is truly lost. Picture a sacred temple, its stones warm beneath the sun. Priests walk slowly, carrying offerings of bread and fruit. Their heads bow as they lift their hands toward the circle high above. The air is filled with soft chants, low and steady, like a lullaby of the earth itself. Each prayer, each song, carries the same wish, to live within the circle's rhythm, to be held in its endless turning. The people felt safe within its pattern. They trusted its return. Just as you may trust your own breath now, rising and falling, round and round, with no end. In many lands, circles were drawn not only in the sky, but on the ground. Sacred rings of stones marked holy places. Circles of dancers moved in rhythm around fires, each step echoing the sun's steady path. These circles of people mirrored the circle above, as if reminding the heavens that they too belonged to its eternal dance. When the circle appeared in gold jewelry, it was not just decoration. A ring was a promise, an unbroken bond, a love without end. The shape carried the same secret as the sun. There is no point where it breaks, only return. The circle also rested on shields, on pottery, on sacred drums. It marked the center of labyrinths, where the spirit sought silence. Wherever it was drawn, the circle was a sign of wholeness. Now let your thoughts move like the sun's path, slow, steady, glowing. Imagine lying in a field as dawn rises. The air is cool, but the circle of light slowly touches your face. It fills your chest with quiet strength. It tells you without words, you are part of this circle too. You belong to the eternal turning. Just as the ancients found comfort in its return, so can you. When days feel long, the circle whispers that a new day will come. When nights feel heavy, the circle reminds you that light always returns. The circle has no sharp edges, no corners, no breaks. Its shape carries only peace, like a soft horizon, endless and open, like the flow of a dream that never ends. Some stories said the sun itself was born each morning from the waters of creation, rising as a golden child. Each evening, it sank back into the underworld, only to be reborn again. The circle was not simply a line of time, it was life itself. Birth, death, rebirth, always in motion yet always whole. To think of the circle was to think of trust. A trust that what leaves will return. A trust that even in the darkest night, dawn waits quietly beyond the horizon. And so the circle became prayer without words, a gentle reminder that no fear lasts forever, no sorrow lasts forever. All things turn, all things move, and in the turning, peace is found. Let the circle rest now in your imagination. See it glowing like a golden halo above your head. Let it drift slowly downward, becoming smaller, softer, until it rests in your heart. There, it spins quietly, sending waves of warmth through your chest. Each beat of your heart is a circle too, pulsing endlessly, carrying life through your body. Your breath rising and falling is another circle. Your thoughts drifting and returning are another. You are surrounded by circles. You are part of them. You are safe within them. In the stillness of night, the ancients often sat in silence, waiting for the first light. Imagine yourself among them. The air is cool. The stars shimmer like tiny fires in the sky. All around, the world is hushed. And then, on the horizon, a soft glow begins. Slowly, slowly, the circle rises. Golden, whole, eternal. A soundless promise that life will continue. You feel its warmth on your skin. You close your eyes. The circle is there even when you do not look. It is always there, always waiting, always returning. And so, the circle of the sun carries you now into rest. Its golden path will continue even as you sleep. Its promise is unbroken. You are held within its turning, safe and at peace. Let your breath be the circle. Let your dreams be the circle. Let the night carry you gently into silence, knowing that the circle of the sun will return again with the dawn. Now drift onward, carried by the circle's light, soft as golden mist, endless as the stars. The night is deep now, and silence stretches like a soft veil across the world. You are resting in the hush of twilight, your breath moving gently like ripples across a still pond. The story returns, slow and quiet, carrying you deeper into dream. In the half-light of ancient temples, there were symbols that moved like living streams. Among them, none was more mysterious than the serpent. It wound through myth and memory, a silent traveler of both earth and spirit. People feared it, yet honored it. They saw in its movements not only danger, but hidden wisdom. Its shape, coiled in endless circles, spoke of rebirth, of renewal, of secrets carried in silence. Close your eyes in the story now. Imagine a dim chamber lit by soft oil lamps. Shadows flicker on the walls. Carved into the stones are shapes of serpents, curling, flowing, winding across the sacred space. Their eyes do not threaten. They watch gently, as guardians of mysteries older than time. In Egypt, the serpent was both protector and challenger. The great cobra rose from the brow of pharaohs, a symbol of divine power. Yet another serpent, Apophis, curled in the dark waters, seeking to swallow the sun. Still, each dawn, the circle of light returned, and the serpent was pushed back. In this dance, the people saw not only conflict, but balance, shadow and light, fear and protection. In Greece, the serpent curled around the staff of Asclepius, healer of the sick. Coiled, patient, it became the symbol of medicine, a reminder that within poison lies remedy, within endings lies renewal. To touch the serpent was to touch both death and life, both danger and cure. In India, the great Naga spirits moved beneath rivers and lakes, guardians of treasure and sacred water. They were neither cruel nor gentle. They were balance itself, reminding humankind of forces that live beyond control, yet offer blessings when honored. And in the deep forests of Mesoamerica, the feathered serpent Quetzalcoatl was a bringer of wisdom, not crawling in silence, but soaring with wings. It united the earth and the heavens, carrying knowledge between them like a quiet bridge of light. The serpent's shape alone carried meaning. Coiled, it was eternity. Shedding its skin, it was rebirth. Slipping silently through grass, it was mystery. Rising high, it was power. The ancients saw in its movement a mirror of the soul's journey, hidden, winding, yet always flowing forward. Imagine now, in the quiet of your rest, that a serpent moves across the floor of your dream, not with threat, not with haste, but with calm rhythm. Its scales catch the candlelight. Each glimmer is soft, like moonlight on water. It does not disturb you. It circles gently, reminding you that change is not to be feared. Change is only the skin being shed, so that new life may shine beneath. Long ago, healers believed the serpent's breath carried secrets. Its venom could bring death, but when softened could also heal. To them, this was a lesson. Even within what frightens us, there may be hidden gifts. Even in endings, new beginnings wait. The serpent was also seen as a guardian of thresholds. At the edges of temples, carved serpents curled around doorways, watching those who entered. In dreams, the serpent was said to appear when one stood close to hidden truth. It whispered, not in words, but in silence, guiding the seeker deeper within themselves. Now, let that whisper move through your dream. It is not a sound in your ears, but a softness in your spirit. It says only this: change will come, but you are safe within it. Picture a river under moonlight. The water is slow, silver, endless. Within it, serpents drift like ribbons of shadow and light. They do not rise to strike. They flow with the current, weaving back and forth, their movement as gentle as breath. The ancients saw this, and they said, the serpent is the river, and the river is the spirit, always moving, always changing, never lost. The spiral of the serpent's coil is the same spiral of galaxies, the same swirl of seashells, the same twist of the human body in its first breath. All things turn, all things shed, all things rise again. In sacred stories, the serpent often guarded treasures. Gold hidden in caves, waters hidden in the earth, knowledge hidden in the soul. But these treasures were not meant to be stolen. They were meant to be earned through patience, through stillness, through honor. The serpent did not chase. It waited. It watched. It whispered only when the heart was ready to listen. And so the serpent became a teacher. Not a loud one, not a quick one, but a teacher of patience, of silence, of slow renewal. The ancients bowed before it, not to worship fear, but to honor the lessons it carried. Now in the quiet of your own heart, the serpent appears again. It coils softly at your feet. Its eyes do not shine with fire, but with calm reflection, like polished stones. It moves not to strike, but to circle. Around and around, it draws the shape of eternity beneath you. The whisper it carries is simple. There is no end, only renewal. Let this thought rest with you. Like the serpent's coil, your life winds onward. When one path closes, another opens. When one skin falls away, another waits beneath. You are always moving, always growing, even when still. The serpent is also a dream guide. In many traditions, it appeared in visions to lead the spirit into deeper worlds. Shamans and seekers told of serpents carrying them across thresholds, through forests of stars, into caves of silence, and back again, always returning, always bringing wisdom, softly, quietly. Imagine yourself now, drifting in such a dream. A serpent rises from the grass, its movement slow, graceful. It glides beside you, showing the path. Its scales brush the ground with a sound like leaves in the wind. You follow not in fear, but in calm trust. For the serpent knows the hidden ways, and you are safe within its guidance. Some myths told of a great serpent that encircled the world itself. Tail in its mouth, body around the horizon, it held the earth in an endless embrace. This was not destruction, it was protection. The serpent's circle kept the world whole, reminding all that creation is held together by balance, by cycles, by eternal return. The circle of the sun, the circle of the serpent, both spoke the same truth, that life does not end. It only moves in new forms. Let the serpent's whisper follow you now as you sink deeper into rest. It does not speak in words. It speaks in feelings, soft and steady like water flowing underground. It tells you that you are safe. That change will come, but it will not break you. That endings are not endings, but passages. In the silence of night, the serpent curls around your dreams. It keeps watch, as it did in temples of stone, as it did by rivers of silver. Its whisper lingers, a soft breath in the dark. All is renewal, all is peace. Now let go, as the serpent glides back into the shadows. Its trail remains, a circle glowing softly in your spirit. The whisper fades, but its comfort stays. Rest now as the coils unwind. Rest as the river flows. Rest as the night deepens and the stars return. Drift onward, softly, slowly, carried by the serpent's whisper into sleep. The night is quiet, holding you in its arms. The air around you feels soft, like the hush before dawn. Your body is resting, your breath moves slowly, and your spirit begins to wander. A dream opens, gentle and unhurried, carrying you to the edge of still waters. The lake is dark, calm as glass. The stars above are reflected in its surface like tiny lanterns floating in silence. In the center of the water, something begins to rise. It is slow, graceful, patient. A bud unfolds, petal by petal, until a lotus flower blooms upon the surface. Its color glows faintly in the moonlight. Its shape is pure, untouched by the shadows beneath. This is the symbol carried across ages, across lands, the lotus of still waters. It has risen from the depths of mud and darkness, yet it shines clean and whole. In this flower, the ancients saw more than beauty. They saw serenity. They saw awakening. They saw the spirit's journey from night into light. In Egypt, the lotus was sacred. Priests painted it on the walls of tombs and temples. They said the sun itself was born from the petals of a cosmic lotus, rising each morning from the waters of creation. To them, the flower was not only gentle, it was life itself, unfolding again with each dawn. In India, the lotus was a throne for the gods. Vishnu rested upon it, floating in eternal waters. Brahma was said to emerge from a lotus blossoming from Vishnu's navel, carrying the gift of creation. And the goddess Lakshmi, radiant with light, was often shown standing upon a blooming lotus, a sign of purity rising above the world. In the teachings of the Buddha, the lotus became a mirror of the soul's journey. It begins in dark mud, hidden and unseen. Then it rises through the water, reaching slowly for the surface. At last it opens in the sunlight, pure and beautiful, untouched by the shadows from which it came. The lotus became a symbol of enlightenment, of peace, of awakening within stillness. Imagine now that you are sitting beside this lotus on the quiet lake. The water does not ripple, the air does not stir. The flower floats gently, its petals open as though waiting for you. You feel no hurry, no demand, only calm presence. The lotus does not push against the water. It does not fight against the mud. It simply rises, slowly, steadily, until it opens in light. This is its whisper to you. There is no need for struggle. There is only patience, only trust in the unfolding. In many lands, the lotus was not just a flower. It was a map of the soul. Its roots sank deep into the earth in places unseen. Its stem rose through the dark like a quiet passage of time. Its petals opened only at the surface where air and light met. So too is the journey of the spirit. From darkness to clarity, from silence to song, from shadow to radiance, the lotus reminded the ancients that even in the deepest mud, beauty waits. Even in the darkest night, light will rise. Picture now the petals of the lotus opening around you. One by one, soft as silk, they unfold. Their touch is cool against your skin, their fragrance gentle and sweet. You are resting inside the heart of the flower, surrounded by its calm embrace. Above you, the stars shimmer faintly. Around you, the lake is endless and still. The lotus whispers not in words, but in silence. It tells you that your spirit, like its petals, will open in its own time. There is no need to force the bloom. There is only trust in the waters. Trust in the light above. The flower appears again in many stories. In China, it was called the flower of purity, a promise that one could live in the world without being stained by it. In Japan, it was placed in paintings of the Pure Land, where souls rest in perfect peace. In every place, it carried the same truth. To live like the lotus is to rise gently, to open quietly, to shine without fear. In sacred art, gods and spirits were shown holding the lotus, sitting upon it or surrounded by its blossoms. It was not just decoration. It was a message to the heart. Awaken, be still, and let beauty unfold. Now let yourself float closer to this image. Imagine a temple pond, its surface covered in lotuses. Their petals glow faintly in the light of dawn. The air is filled with the soft call of morning birds. A gentle breeze ripples the water, carrying the sweet fragrance of blossoms across the stillness. You drift along the edge, your fingers touching the petals, feeling their smooth, cool strength. Each flower is a reminder that serenity is possible, that even when roots rest in mud, the bloom will be pure. Even when shadows surround, light will find its way. The lotus also taught patience. A bud does not rush to open, it waits. It feels the warmth of the sun. It senses the time is right. Then, without force, it unfolds. In this way, the flower became a teacher of rhythm, of natural unfolding, of trust in time. For the listener of the night, this teaching is a gentle lullaby. You need not push against the silence. You need not force your thoughts to fade. Let them be like water beneath the lotus, present but not defining. Above the surface, the bloom is untouched, resting, radiant. In dreams, the lotus was sometimes seen as a boat. Souls rested upon its petals, floating across the waters of eternity, carried not by oars, not by force, but by the stillness of the lake. In its calm strength, it was both shelter and guide. Imagine yourself upon such a blossom now. You lie in the heart of the flower, its petals cupping you like gentle hands. The water carries you forward, smooth and silent. The stars above are endless. The night around you is safe. The lotus moves, but you do not feel motion. It carries you like a dream, carries the sleeper, unhurried, unbroken. The ancients gave the lotus many colors, each with meaning. A white lotus was purity, a red lotus was love, a blue lotus was wisdom, a pink lotus was the highest, the divine blossom of truth. Yet no matter the color, each lotus carried the same gift, the reminder that the spirit can rise above shadows and rest in the light. You may imagine any color now. The blossom before you glows in the hue that soothes you most. White as moonlight, blue as a twilight sky, red as dawn's first fire, or pink as the soft heart of morning. Whatever color you see, it is meant for you. The lotus opens with the sun and closes with the night. This too was a message. The flower lives in rhythm, resting when the stars appear, opening when light returns. It does not resist. It follows the gentle cycle, trusting the day, trusting the night. So too may you rest now as the lotus rests. Night has come. The stars are above you. There is no need to open now. There is only the calm folding of petals, the safe enclosure of sleep. Let your spirit drift upon the still waters where the lotus blooms. Feel its silence enter you. Feel its calm surround you. Like the flower, you are held, safe and whole, rising from the depths into peace. The mud below cannot touch you. The shadows beneath cannot stain you. You are the bloom above, open in light, radiant in stillness. And as the night deepens, the lotus closes slowly. Its petals curl inwards like hands folding in prayer, like dreams folding around your heart. The water remains calm, the stars remain steady, the silence remains endless. Now rest within this image. You are the lotus floating upon still waters. You are safe, pure, and whole. Let us drift onward, carried by silence, carried by petals, carried by the still waters where the lotus blooms. Now sleep as the stars return. The night unfolds again. The air is soft, the sky is vast, and silence lingers like a gentle song. You are drifting slowly into the dream world. Your breath is calm. Your body is at rest. Above you, the heavens open their wide canvas. And there, resting in the dark expanse, a silver bow takes shape. A slender crescent of the moon, curved and quiet, glows faintly against the velvet sky. It is not yet full. It is not yet gone. It is a symbol of becoming, of cycles that never end. The crescent moon is ancient. Its light has guided travelers across deserts, sailors across oceans, and worshippers in silent prayer. It has hung above temples, carved upon stone, painted in gold upon sacred walls. Its presence is soft yet eternal. It speaks of rhythm, of return, of the endless circle of night and day. Imagine yourself beneath it now. The crescent moon rests low, silver as polished glass. It leans above you like a bow drawn by invisible hands, pointing toward the horizon. Its curve is delicate like the smile of the sky. You feel its presence, quiet but sure, and your spirit softens. The ancients looked upon this shape and saw more than light. In Mesopotamia, the crescent belonged to Nana, the moon god who carried time in his glow. He marked the days and the tides, the sowing of fields, the rhythm of lives. Each night his crescent appeared to remind people that time was not endless chaos, but a gentle cycle. In Arabia, the crescent moon rose above caravans. Traders followed its silver path across the vast desert, trusting its rhythm, trusting its return. It was painted on flags, carved into jewelry, held as a mark of divine presence, and in many lands the crescent became a symbol of rebirth. For the moon wanes and disappears, only to return again. It vanishes, yet it always comes back. In this, people saw hope, that loss was never the end, that silence was never final. Picture the crescent now, mirrored upon a pool of still water. The stars scatter around it like grains of silver dust. The surface trembles slightly, as if the moon itself were breathing with you. You gaze at it, and the reflection is perfect, calm, unbroken. The crescent whispers gently, "Endings are not endings. They are beginnings in disguise." Just as the moon shrinks into shadow, only to return, so too does the spirit find renewal. Life, like the moon, follows its quiet rhythm of appearing and disappearing, of retreating and returning. The moon was also a protector of travelers. Sailors crossing dark seas steered their vessels by its faint glow. Wanderers in forests found comfort in its soft silver. Shepherds in high fields lifted their eyes and knew they were not alone. Even in silence, even in darkness, the crescent carried a promise. There is light, even in the deepest night. For those who prayed, the crescent was a sacred clock. It told them when to begin, when to end, when to gather, when to rest. Its curved shape was carved upon temples, placed upon towers, lifted high as a guide for those who sought direction. Now, in your dream, the crescent moon bends above you. Its light falls gently over your resting form. You feel no demand, no pressure, only its soft glow, reminding you of cycles larger than your own thoughts. Just as the moon waxes and wanes, so too do moments of your life. None remain forever, yet all return in some form. The crescent tells you, rest, trust the rhythm. You are part of something vast, something eternal. You do not need to hold everything at once. The cycle carries you. In Greek myth, the crescent belonged to Artemis, goddess of the hunt, the wild forests, and the moon. She wore it like a diadem upon her brow, a silver curve against her flowing hair. She moved through the night, unseen but present, guarding the wilderness and protecting those who wandered. In Rome, she was Diana, gentle yet fierce, a guardian who shone by the crescent's light. In Egypt, the crescent was tied to Isis, whose love and protection stretched across the land, as endless as the stars. Each culture looked to the curve of the moon and saw not just beauty but comfort, a bow in the sky, an embrace of silver, a promise of return. Feel yourself walking now beneath a forest canopy. The branches above part just enough for the crescent to shine through. Its light spills across the leaves, painting them in soft silver. The air is still. The earth beneath your feet is cool. Every step feels slow, easy, and safe. The crescent leads you onward like a lantern hung above the path. You need not ask where you are going. The moon knows the way. The night carries you forward. The moon's cycle has always been a teacher of patience. It cannot rush to fullness nor cling to its shape. It grows, then fades, then grows again. The crescent is its reminder that every state is temporary and every phase belongs to the whole. For the listener in the night, this is a lullaby of time. You need not hurry. You need not cling. All things will rise again in their own moment, just as the moon returns. Imagine now the crescent moon as a boat of silver. It floats upon the sea of stars, carrying you in silence. Its curve cradles you like a gentle hand. The stars glimmer softly, countless yet quiet, surrounding you in their light. You are lying within this crescent vessel drifting across the sky. No waves disturb you, no winds trouble you. The moon carries you, steady and unbroken. You feel the rhythm of its cycle beneath you, carrying you from one phase to the next, from one dream into another. In some traditions, the crescent was also the bow of a divine archer. The stars were arrows, loosed gently into the night, but the arrows were not weapons. They were signs, lights, blessings scattered across the sky. The bow remained curved, watching, steady, eternal. Think of it now as a bow not of war, but of peace, a bow strung with silence carrying only light. The crescent points to the horizon, to dawn that will come, to light that will return. There is comfort in its smallness too. The crescent is not overwhelming. It is not the full blaze of the sun, nor the full round of the moon. It is delicate, a sliver, a beginning. Its softness invites you to rest. It tells you that you do not need the whole answer tonight. A sliver of light is enough. The crescent whispers, take only what you need. Rest in the small glow. The rest will come in time. Now see the crescent moon lowering toward the horizon. Its reflection stretches across a calm sea. The waves are gentle, rocking slowly, like the breath of the earth. The silver path shimmers upon the water, guiding the eye toward infinity. You lie back and breathe with it. The tide rises and falls. The moon waxes and wanes. Your breath flows in and out. All is one rhythm, all is one song. The crescent moon has been a friend to dreamers, poets, wanderers. To those who look up at night and feel small, it whispers, you are part of this endless cycle. You are never lost. You are carried with me. And so it speaks to you now. As you rest beneath its glow, you feel its rhythm move through you. You are calm. You are whole. You are part of something vast and eternal. The night deepens. The crescent grows faint. Soon it will slip beyond the horizon to make way for new light. Yet even as it fades, you know it will return. Always it will return. And so you drift with it. Your spirit folds into its curve. The stars above soften. The air grows quieter still. Let us drift onward, carried by the crescent of the night. Now rest as the stars return and the silver bow of the heavens fades into dream. The night is quiet. A soft stillness spreads across the horizon. The air is gentle, carrying only the faintest whisper of wind. Above you, the sky deepens, a canvas painted in shades of indigo and velvet. The stars linger, each one a small flame, watching, waiting, and then as the dark begins to thin, a single light grows brighter. A star, not like the rest. A star that glows with a steady brilliance just above the horizon. It is the star of the morning, the lantern of dawn, a promise that the night is not forever. This star has guided many hearts. Shepherds in their fields, sailors on the open waters, wanderers of deserts and forests. It rises before the sun, carrying with it the hope of a new day. For those who watched the sky in ancient times, this star was more than a light. It was a message, a guide, a sign that the soul could always find its way. Imagine yourself lying in the stillness of the early night. Around you the world is hushed. The trees stand tall, unmoving. The air smells faintly of earth and dew. Above, the sky is vast. Countless stars shimmer faintly, but your eyes are drawn to the one that shines more brightly than the rest. The star of the morning sits low, close to the edge of the world. It seems to lean toward you, like a lantern carried in the hand of a gentle traveler. Its light is cool and silver, yet strong enough to pierce the shadows. It does not overwhelm, but it comforts. You breathe, and its glow feels close, as though it were meant only for you. The ancients saw this star and gave it names, each one filled with reverence. In Mesopotamia, it was Inanna, the goddess of love and war, who descended into the underworld and rose again. Her star was both fierce and tender, a guide for the living and a beacon for the spirit. In Greece, it was called Phosphoros, the bringer of light. It appeared just before dawn, announcing the return of the sun. Later they called it Hesperos, when it shone in the evening. To them it was two in one, both the herald of the morning and the peace of the evening. In Egypt it was tied to Isis, the mother of protection, who guided souls through the darkness. And in many lands, the star was seen as a promise, that even when the world was shrouded in shadow, a light would rise to guide the way. Think of this star now, not as something distant, but as something alive, a gentle companion in the sky. Its glow is like a steady hand upon your shoulder, reassuring you that you are never lost. Wherever you are, whatever path you walk, the star of the morning leans over the horizon to light the way. Its light is like hope itself, quiet but unbreakable, soft but enduring. It does not burn fiercely like the sun, but it stays steady and constant until the dawn comes. The star of the morning has long been a symbol of guidance. Imagine sailors on vast seas, their ships small against the waves. The waters stretch in every direction, no land in sight. Yet they look upward, and the star is there, resting above the horizon. They steer their course by its glow, trusting it to bring them home. Imagine shepherds on quiet hills. The night is long, the flocks rest in silence, and only the wind moves through the grass. The shepherd looks up, and there it is, the morning star watching. It tells them that dawn will come, that the sun will rise, that all is safe until then. The star has guided not just bodies, but spirits. In many traditions, it was said to carry the souls of the departed, leading them toward peace. Like a lantern in a dark corridor, it gave direction where there seemed to be none. It told the heart, "Follow, and you will not be lost." Picture now the star mirrored in water. A wide river stretches before you, calm and smooth as glass. The morning star rests just above the horizon, and its reflection falls across the surface. The silver line stretches toward you, a path of light upon the dark water. You step forward in spirit, and it feels as though the star is leading you across. Its reflection ripples with every breath of wind, yet still it glows unbroken. Even when disturbed, its light remains steady and sure. This is the nature of guidance, not to banish all shadows, but to remain even when the waters tremble. The star of the morning was also seen as renewal. Each time it rose, it reminded the world that night was temporary. Darkness was never forever. Even the longest of shadows would end in light. To the spirit, this star whispered of resilience. No matter how heavy the night feels, no matter how far the journey stretches, there will always be light waiting on the horizon. You can feel this now. The star's glow falls gently upon you. It softens your chest, calms your breath, and rests upon your heart. You feel lighter, as though carried by its glow. In the myths of Inanna, the star was tied to descent and return. She journeyed into the depths of the underworld, facing silence and shadow, yet rose again with the morning light. Her star was proof that renewal was always possible, even after the deepest night. In Greece, the morning star was a promise of Helios, the sun who would soon rise in his chariot. The star ran ahead of him as if to say, "Do not fear. Dawn is already on its way." And in many cultures, the star was tied to love, for it rose with tenderness, soft but steady, greeting the eyes of those who waited in the dark. It was the lover of dawn, the companion of hope, the friend of those who felt small beneath the sky. Now, imagine yourself drifting in a dream. You are lying beneath the vast sky, and the morning star rests above you. Its glow folds around you like a blanket of light. Your body softens, your thoughts grow quiet, and you feel held by something larger than yourself. The star does not rush. It waits patient, calm. You feel its rhythm, slow and steady, as though it breathes with you. With every breath you take, its glow grows closer, warmer, gentler. In some lands, the star of the morning was called the shepherd of the dawn. It moved ahead of the sun, clearing the path for its arrival. Like a quiet guardian, it prepared the sky for light, and so it does for you now. The star does not banish the night, but it reminds you that light is already near. You do not need to struggle toward it. You need only rest, and let the cycle carry you forward. Picture the horizon now. The edges of the world begin to soften. The sky grows pale, shifting from deep indigo to silver blue. The star of the morning shines brighter for a moment, as though offering one last blessing before the sun rises. Its glow touches your spirit. It tells you that hope is never gone, that light is always on its way. You breathe deeply, slowly, and your body feels at peace. The ancients lifted their eyes to this star not just for navigation, but for comfort. They saw in its light a mirror of their own journeys. Every soul wanders. Every heart faces nights of silence. But always there is a guide. Always there is a lantern. You are not lost. You are guided. The star of the morning shines for you even now. The sky lightens. The star begins to fade. It lingers just long enough to remind you that its work is done. Soon the sun will rise, carrying warmth and brightness across the earth. The star steps aside, humble yet eternal. It will return again tomorrow, just as it has since the beginning. You rest in this rhythm. Night, then star, then dawn. Darkness, then hope, then light. Now let yourself drift, carried by the gentle rhythm of the sky. The morning star still glows within you, steady and calm. You are safe. You are guided. Let us drift onward beyond the horizon. Now rest as the stars return and the lantern of the morning fades into dream. The night is quiet. The winds are soft, moving slowly over the sleeping earth. Candles burn low in distant shrines, their small flames bending like dancers in silence. Above, the sky rests in velvet darkness, where stars hang like silver beads upon an unseen thread. It is in this stillness that the story of the sacred knot begins, not with noise nor with sudden light, but with the steady rhythm of weaving, of strands pulled together, of paths entwined. Long ago, in a temple of stone, pilgrims came to leave their prayers. They carried threads of wool, strands of flax, cords of silk. At the center of the temple stood a great wooden pillar, and upon it were countless knots, tied by hands now long gone. Each knot carried a wish. Each twist held a promise. Some were made for healing, others for safe journeys, and many for the deep hope of love and belonging. The priests of the temple taught that knots were not simple bindings. They were circles folded into themselves, echoes of the endless spiral of life. To tie a knot was to speak without words, to trust the silence to hold what the heart could not say aloud. When a pilgrim tied a knot, they believed the gods would notice, and the heavens would keep their prayer safe, woven into the eternal fabric of time. In the stillness of night, one can almost see the knot's secret. The strand bends, crosses, and returns, just as rivers bend to rejoin the sea, just as the moon wanes and waxes, just as the heart loses and then finds again. It is a symbol that everything returns. Loss is not the end. Separation is not forever. The thread always circles back, always seeks to bind what has been broken. The ancients believed that souls, too, were tied by such threads. Invisible cords bound children to their ancestors, friends to one another, lovers across oceans and lifetimes. Even when unseen, the connection held. Even when stretched, it did not break. Among the old stories, there is one of a young traveler. She was to leave her village and walk alone across mountains and rivers. Her mother, fearing for her safety, gave her a cord. Upon it, she tied a single knot, whispering a prayer into its loops. May this knot guard you, as the sun guards the day, as the stars guard the night. The girl carried it close to her heart. When storms came, she touched the knot. When loneliness filled her, she held the cord. And when she finally returned home, the knot was still there, unchanged, its silent promise unbroken. So it was taught. A knot is not only memory, it is also shield, a circle drawn by hand, a wall woven from trust. Another tale speaks of two lovers, their families divided, their paths uncertain. On the eve of parting, they tied a knot with their own hair, binding strand to strand. They buried it beneath a tree, believing that even if they were parted in body, their souls would remain woven together. Seasons passed. Leaves fell, snow gathered, rains came. The lovers grew old, each in their own village. But when they were gone, the tree beneath which their knot lay grew stronger, its roots entwined as if holding their promise. Villagers said the tree whispered at night, a soft sound like threads being pulled. It was their love, still bound, still unbroken. The monks who studied the sacred patterns saw knots everywhere. They saw them in the spirals of shells, in the woven nests of birds, in the curling smoke of incense, and in the stars that spun their endless circles above. The eternal knot, they taught, was the pattern of the universe itself. No beginning, no end. A thread that folds upon itself again and again, until it becomes the very shape of eternity. They believed that to meditate on the knot was to remember that life is not a straight road. It bends, it turns, it crosses back, and yet in its winding it never loses its wholeness. Now, in this quiet moment, imagine the soft cord of your own life. It stretches back to the day of your birth, to the hands that first held you. It stretches forward, unseen, to days not yet lived, to faces not yet known. Along this thread knots appear. Some are made of laughter, some of sorrow, some of small promises whispered in the dark. And each knot is sacred. Each one marks a place where life held itself together, where something was remembered, where something was bound. Outside, the night continues its slow weaving. The winds move like threads between trees. The rivers shine like silver cords. The stars themselves are knots, tying heaven to earth, tying dream to waking. As you drift, you may feel yourself held in that great tapestry. Your breath is one thread, your heartbeat another, and beyond you, countless more, all crossing, all weaving, until the universe is whole. The sacred knot teaches that nothing is lost. Every promise, every bond returns in circles unseen. So rest now within that truth. Feel the soft cord around you. A knot tied gently by the night, it holds you. It protects you. It binds you to the eternal rhythm. Let us drift onward into sleep's quiet embrace. The stars return, the knots hold, and the night folds you safely within its pattern. The night is hushed. The air is heavy with the fragrance of earth after rain. Above, the moon hangs as a pale lantern, and the stars are scattered like seeds in the dark soil of the sky. A soft wind moves, slow and steady, as if carrying whispers from faraway times, and in the quiet a vision rises. The image of a tree, vast and eternal. Its roots sink deep into the earth's hidden waters. Its branches stretch high, reaching the crown of the heavens. It is the tree of life, the tree of wisdom, the tree that touches heaven. In the beginning of many stories, the world was held by a single tree. Its roots were not bound by soil alone, but wound through the waters of creation, twisting into the very bones of the earth. The roots drank from hidden springs, from rivers that flowed before time itself. Some said the roots reached the realm of ancestors, where the spirits of the departed rested. Others believed the roots coiled into caves of silence, where secrets were kept safe until the end of days. To touch a root was to touch memory. To sit upon its base was to feel the breath of eternity. The trunk rose straight and strong, its bark dark with age, its surface carved by storms and softened by sun. It was said that the trunk was the axis of all things, the pillar of the world. Birds nested upon it, deer sheltered beside it, and people looked to it as the still point around which life turned. In many lands, the tree was drawn upon temples. In some, it was painted in circles, branches meeting roots, life and death bound as one. In others, it was carved in stone, a reminder that all beings share one stem, one rising force, one breath. To lean against its trunk, one could feel the pulse of the earth below, the soft hum of growth that never ceased. The branches were endless. They rose like arms outstretched in prayer, like rivers of green flowing toward the heavens. Every leaf caught the light of the stars. Every twig sang when the wind passed. It was said that on these branches rested the spirits of birds, the messengers of sky and dream. Some branches touched the sun where light was born. Others touched the moon where time was measured. And still others brushed against the constellations where the maps of destiny were drawn. The branches of the tree were ladders. Those who dreamed could climb them. And in their climb, they would find themselves rising from the world of dust into the world of light. Legends told of fruit hidden among the leaves. Not apples, nor figs, nor dates, but fruit of a kind the eyes could not see. Some said each fruit held knowledge, the wisdom of stars, the memory of seas, the language of silence. Others said the fruit was joy, the sweetness of life made whole. To taste it was to remember that one was never alone, that every soul was bound to the same root, the same beginning, the same end. Priests told of pilgrims who came in dreams to rest beneath the tree. They would see the fruit glow faintly, as if each one was a lantern guiding them deeper into peace, into stillness. No sacred tree stood without keepers. Some tales spoke of serpents coiled around the roots, protecting the waters of life. Others told of eagles perched high, their wings shadowing the heavens. Still others said that gentle spirits, shaped like deer or luminous children, tended the branches, carrying prayers from leaf to star. But the truest guardian of the tree was silence itself. The tree asked nothing and gave everything. Its presence alone was enough to teach those who came near. There is a story of a weary traveler, lost between mountains and deserts. He came upon the great tree, its shade stretching wide. He sat upon its roots, his body heavy with dust, his heart heavy with sorrow. As he rested, the wind moved through the branches. He heard it as a song, a voice older than the world. It whispered, "All paths return, all wounds heal, all roots meet beneath the soil." The traveler slept beneath the tree, and in his sleep he dreamed of rivers flowing backward, of stars falling into seeds, of his own life rising again, whole and unbroken. When he awoke, he carried peace in his heart, a knot untied, a burden lifted. The ancients taught that the great tree was not only found in forests or temples, it was also found within each soul. The roots were memory, stretching deep into the past. The trunk was the present, strong and steady, and the branches were dreams, lifting the spirit toward what was yet to come. To live was to tend this inner tree, to water it with kindness, to let its shade shelter others, to let its fruit nourish those in need. When one closed their eyes in prayer or in sleep, the inner tree grew luminous. Its leaves shimmered like starlight. Its roots hummed like a quiet song, and the soul rested, held between earth and heaven. Now, in the stillness of this night, imagine yourself beneath that tree. Feel the roots beneath you, holding you steady, strong as the bones of the world. See the trunk before you, tall, unshaken, a pillar rising into the sky above. The branches spread wide, a roof of stars and leaves, a canopy where silence breathes. The air is cool, the shadows are soft, and every leaf seems to glow with its own gentle light. You are safe beneath this tree. You are held in its shade. You are lifted in its reach. The tree that touches heaven teaches stillness, teaches patience, teaches that all things are joined. Its roots are in you. Its trunk is in you. Its branches are in you. Now rest as the tree holds you. Rest as its shade enfolds you. Rest as the night weaves its song around you. Let us drift onward into the dream of branches. Let us drift onward where roots and stars meet. Now rest as the stars return and the tree of life stands watch through the quiet hours of night. The night is wide and still. The sky above stretches like a deep blue ocean, its stars scattered like glowing pearls. A silver hush rests over the land, and in this quiet an image appears. A circle of light, calm, radiant, and unblinking. The eye of light, not watching with judgment, but resting in stillness, seeing with peace. Since ancient times, people looked for signs of protection. They carved the shape of an eye on stone. They painted it on clay jars. They hung it above doors so that the home would be safe. It was said that this eye did not close, not even in the darkest hour. It kept away shadows. It held back harm. It was not fierce, but gentle, a guardian of balance. In deserts, in temples, in mountains by the sea, the symbol of the eye returned again and again. Different tongues gave it many names, yet all spoke of the same thing: a light that never falters, a presence that never fades. For some, the eye was the sun itself. Each dawn, the world opened its golden eye, and with it came warmth, growth, and life. When the sun set, the eye closed softly, but even then its memory lingered in the glow of twilight. And its promise returned each morning, bright and faithful. To stand in sunlight was to be seen. To walk in shadow was not to be forgotten. The eye of the sun held all things in its circle, both bright and dim, both living and still. Others saw the moon as an eye, a silver lantern opening in the dark. The crescent was its eyelid, gently curved. The full moon was its round gaze, soft and complete. Under its watch, travelers found their way across deserts. Sailors guided their ships across seas. The moon's eye was not harsh, but tender. It lit the world gently, like a candle in a vast room. Those who dreamed beneath its glow felt its calm presence. It seemed to whisper, "You are seen. You are safe. You are not alone." The ancients also spoke of the eye within, an inner light, not made of fire or moonstone, but of stillness. They called it the eye of the spirit. It was the place where truth rested, the place where one's soul could see beyond illusion. When a person closed their eyes in prayer, this hidden eye opened. It looked inward, toward silence, toward peace. It did not measure. It did not judge. It simply witnessed. And in its witnessing, it healed. In many lands, the eye was painted in deep blue, the color of endless sky and endless sea. It was strung on cords, carved on wood, worn as a small stone upon the chest. Mothers placed it above cradles. Fishermen tied it to their nets. Builders placed it in the foundation of homes. They trusted that the eye would see what they could not: shadows, envy, misfortune, and turn them away. Yet its power was not in fear. Its power was in calmness. The eye reminded the heart to rest, to know that not all burdens must be carried alone. there is always a greater watch, a greater circle of care. Long ago there was a wanderer. He crossed lands of stone and sand. He slept beneath shifting skies. His heart was troubled, for he felt unseen, as though he walked alone in a vast, empty world. One night, he came upon a well, its surface smooth as glass. When he bent to drink, he saw his reflection, but behind his own face he saw something more. A round light shimmered upon the water, an eye of light, calm, endless, unblinking. The wanderer stilled. He felt no fear, only a gentle warmth. He drank deeply, and in his heart he knew he had never been unseen. Even in silence, the eye of light had been with him. From that night on, his steps grew lighter. Wherever he walked, he felt the calm presence of that gaze, steady and kind. The ancients believed the outer eye and the inner eye were reflections of one another. The outer eye was painted, carved, lifted high. The inner eye was silent, resting deep in the soul. Together, they formed a circle, the seen and the unseen, the outer guardian and the inner witness. Like the sun and the moon, like the sea and the shore, they belonged to each other. To live with peace was to remember both, that there is always a light above and always a light within. Now, in this quiet night, imagine the eye of light above you. Not heavy, not stern, but soft as the glow of dawn. It rests upon you like a blessing. It surrounds you like a shield. Its gaze is steady but never piercing. It holds you gently, like a mother holds a child. And within you, too, there is an eye. It shines behind your closed eyelids. It is calm, it is endless, it is yours. The two eyes, above and within, are one, a circle of light. A circle of rest. Let this light cradle you. Let it soften the edges of thought. Let it guide you, not outward, but inward, to the deep waters of sleep. The eye of light does not close. It watches with peace, with calm, with quiet blessing. Now rest as the eye holds you. Now rest as the night deepens. Now rest as the stars return. Let us drift onward into stillness, into dream, beneath the unblinking, gentle eye of light. The night is gentle. A soft wind moves through tall grass, and the stars above glimmer like quiet lanterns. The air is still but not empty. It holds the memory of many ages, turning, circling, moving without haste. In this calm space, a shape rises before the mind. It curves, and curves again, a line that does not end. It is the spiral of time, not a road that runs straight, not a chain with hard links, but a circle that widens, soft and endless. The ancients knew this shape well. They carved it into stone. They traced it in sand. They whispered of it by firelight, for the spiral was a key, a symbol of journeys that never truly end. Look closely at the world, and you will see the spiral waiting. The curl of a seashell resting quiet on the shore. The pattern of a fern unfurling, green and tender in morning dew. The turning of storms in the sky, vast but graceful. Even the galaxies, far beyond sight, whirl in this same gentle curve. The ancients saw these patterns. They knew the world was not built of straight lines. It was woven in circles, woven in spirals, woven in soft movements that repeat yet always change. For many, the spiral was more than a pattern. It was a path, a way to walk through time. To move along the spiral was to live. Each step carried one forward, yet also inward. It was a journey that curved closer to the center or further out into the vast circle. No step was wasted. Each turn held meaning. Even when life seemed to repeat, the spiral whispered, "Nothing is ever the same." Each return carries new light, new wisdom, new calm. In the highlands of old lands, stones still stand, heavy, ancient, silent against the wind, and on their surfaces carved spirals remain. No one today can say with certainty what prayers they carried, but when the eye rests upon them, the heart feels their message. That time is not broken, not scattered, but flowing. That every soul walks within this turning, from birth to growth, from growth to rest, and back again. The stones did not shout their wisdom. They whispered, and those who stood before them felt the slow breath of eternity. Beside rivers, priests traced spirals on clay. By seas, sailors marked them on wood. The spiral spoke of water itself, its turning, its flowing, its never-ending return. When water poured into a vessel, it swirled in soft circles. When waves touched the shore, They curled and pulled back, like a spiral breathing in and out. To the ancients, this was a sign. Life, like water, does not stop. It bends, it circles, but always returns in some new form. There were those who believed that the soul itself was a spiral. At birth, the soul stepped upon the outer ring, new and wide. With each year, it moved inward, turn by turn, closer to the quiet center. At death, the soul reached the heart of the spiral. And from there, some said, it would open again. A new spiral, a new journey. This image brought comfort. For if life was a spiral, there was no true ending. Only circles of rest, followed by circles of return. Long ago, a child walked beside the shore. In the sand, she found a shell, perfect and round, curving in delicate spirals. She held it to her ear, and she heard a sound. Not just the sea, but something deeper. A rhythm, like a breath, like the turning of time itself. She carried the shell with her, through years of joy and years of sorrow. Whenever her heart felt lost, she placed the shell near her ear, and again she heard the spirals whisper, "Nothing ends, all things return. The tide will fall, and it will rise again." When she grew old and her hands grew frail, she left the shell to her child. And so the spiral's voice moved onward from one life to the next, like the sea upon the shore. In sacred places, people once danced the spiral. They moved in circles, stepping inward, then outward again. The music was slow, the drums gentle, like a heartbeat in the earth. To dance the spiral was to remember the great turning. It was to honor seasons, to honor birth and death, to honor the breath of the world. As they moved, the dancers felt it. Life was not a race. It was a rhythm, and in the rhythm, all were held. When the ancients lifted their eyes to the sky, they saw stars circling above them. Each night, they rose and turned. Each season, new constellations appeared. The sky itself was a spiral, a vast wheel of time, and the souls of the departed, they believed, rode upon that wheel, not lost, but turning ever onward, beyond the horizon of sight. Now in this quiet night, let the spiral rest in your thoughts. See its gentle curve, endless yet calm. It does not rush. It does not end. It simply flows. Your breath, too, is a spiral. Inward, outward, in and out. Like waves upon the shore, time itself softens here. It is not heavy. It is not sharp. It is round. It is kind. It carries you forward, but never leaves you behind. The spiral of time turns without end. From the shell to the star, from the stone to the soul, it whispers of journeys, always moving, always returning. Now rest as the spiral cradles you. Now rest as its circle holds you gently. Now rest as the night turns softly onward. Let us drift, quiet as ferns unfolding, calm as the tides return into the spiral of time. The night is calm. The stars have gathered above, shining like soft embers spread across a sky of velvet. The air carries no weight of storm, only the gentle hush of stillness. It feels as though the world itself has exhaled and rests in peace. From the hush of this dreamlike silence, a figure begins to form. It is small yet radiant in its simplicity. A bird, its wings spread wide, its feathers pure as dawn. It is the dove of peace. Across many lands, across rivers and deserts, across temples and altars, this gentle bird appeared, not as a creature of fear, not as a hunter of prey, but as a bearer of calm. Where it flew, heart softened. Where it rested, hope followed. Long ago, when waters covered the land, a single dove was sent into the sky. It vanished into the storm, its wings beating against the endless rain. The people below waited. They watched the waves rise and fall. They prayed for a sign that the flood would ease. When the dove returned, its beak carried a small branch, green and new. The message was simple, yet greater than words. The waters would rest, and the earth would bloom again. The dove became a memory, a living symbol of renewal, not of power, but of promise, not of conquest, but of life. In the lands of Mesopotamia, priests carved the form of doves on their vessels of clay. They painted them on temple walls, delicate wings outstretched, circling the sacred fire. To them, the dove was the breath of the goddess. It was the soul of love, the whisper of tenderness that calmed storms and softened the heart. When couples sought blessing, they offered doves. When prayers rose upward, the flutter of wings carried them higher. The bird was small, yet it bridged earth and heaven, silence and song. In time, as new beliefs grew, the dove appeared again. In sacred writings it descended gently, like a flame without heat, resting upon those chosen to carry light. Its feathers were not only white, but luminous, shimmering with the unseen glow of peace itself. Where the dove appeared, fear dissolved. Where it lingered, unity was born. To those who dreamed of heaven, the dove was a promise. To those who longed for calm, it was an answer. To those who sought a guide, it was a companion. Everywhere it appeared, the dove was a messenger, but its messages were not shouted. They were not carved into stone, nor carried by the clash of weapons. Instead, the dove spoke in silence. It spoke in the rhythm of wings, in the soft landing upon a branch, in the way it cooed gently, like a lullaby whispered to the earth. Its message was always the same. Peace is near. It does not roar, it does not demand, it simply arrives. Close your eyes now and see the bird rise. Its wings lift slowly, catching the currents of night air. It circles once, twice, 3 times. And then it drifts outward toward the horizon of stars. Each beat of its wings is like a breath, steady and calm. The sound is soft, like a curtain of silk moving in wind. The dove carries with it a promise of rest. Wherever it flies, hearts grow quiet. The ancients told stories of doves visiting dreams. To dream of a dove was to dream of blessing. It meant the world was guiding you toward still waters, toward peace after struggle. Even today, when the mind drifts in sleep, the dove sometimes returns. It comes not with thunder, but with gentleness. It lands near the heart and folds its wings around it, like a soft mantle of light. Think of the dove as a bridge. It moves between worlds, between heaven and earth, between silence and song. It carries the unseen into the realm of sight. When the soul feels far from hope, the dove arrives. It does not erase sorrow, but it opens a window, letting in air, letting in light. The bridge it offers is not of stone nor wood, but of wings. Light wings, unbroken, strong in their stillness. Many times, the dove is found near water. It lands beside rivers, drinks from fountains, rests upon the banks of seas. Water and dove. Together they speak of cleansing. Water carries away dust. The dove carries away fear. Water renews the body. The dove renews the heart. When one gazes upon a quiet lake and sees a dove gliding above it, there is a feeling of completion, as if all storms have passed, as if the world for this moment is whole again. The dove never came as a gift of gold. It never promised kingdoms. Its gift was simpler, yet greater. It promised stillness. It promised a breath of peace. And this was enough. Enough for the weary, enough for the grieving, enough for the waiting heart that longed to rest. The dove reminded all that peace is not a prize. It is a presence. It is always near, like air, like breath, like dawn waiting behind the horizon. The night deepens. The stars glow softly, and the dove of peace settles into its nest of sky. Its feathers rest. Its wings fold inward. It carries no burden, no noise, only stillness. Now, as its calm surrounds you, breathe with it. Feel its wings draw you nearer to rest. Feel its song, not loud but quiet, like water on stone, like wind through leaves. Now rest as the dove watches over you. Now rest as peace settles upon your heart. Now rest as the stars return. Let us drift onward, carried on gentle wings, into the endless hush of night. The night is deep. The air is still. Only the faint song of crickets moves through the silence. Above the stars shimmer, each one a spark upon the endless fabric of the sky. And below, in the heart of a quiet sanctuary, a single flame burns. It is small, yet unbroken. It glows softly, casting golden light across the stone floor. Its warmth stretches outward, though no wind touches it, and no hand tends to it. The flame lives, not as fire alone, but as something more, something eternal. Long ago, before lamps, before lanterns, the fire was the center of life. It warmed the cold nights. It cooked the food. It guided travelers through the dark. But fire was never only fire. It was seen as a spirit, a living breath of the divine. To many, it was a messenger between earth and sky. Smoke carried prayers upward. Light carried blessings downward. In temples of old, priests tended flames that never slept. These sacred fires were fed day after day, year after year, generation after generation. The flame became a heartbeat. The people gathered around it. trusting that as long as it burned, the world would remain whole. In the ancient city of Rome, a round temple was built. At its center, the fire of Vesta burned without end. Guarded by maidens, tended with devotion, the flame was never allowed to fall. For the people, this fire was not only light. It was home, it was hearth. It was the warmth that bound family to family, city to city, soul to soul. To see it extinguished would have been to see life itself falter. So they watched, they cared, they listened to the crackle of its voice, and the fire answered with glow, with warmth, with silence that comforted. Far to the east, another flame burned in another land. In the temples of Zoroaster, fires blazed as symbols of truth. Clear, bright, without smoke, they stood for purity, for the eternal spirit that cannot be stained, that cannot be dimmed. People bowed before the fire, not to worship the flame itself, but to feel through it the presence of the unseen. The flame was a mirror. Looking into it, the soul remembered its own light. Across many cultures, the flame was given a voice. It crackled like laughter. It hissed like whispering rivers. It roared like wind in the mountains. It was alive. Some called it the child of the sun. Others said it was the breath of the gods. Still others believed it was a bridge where the mortal world and the eternal world could touch. Always, the flame was tended with care. Always, it was watched with reverence. And always, its light was trusted. Imagine now a traveler walking through the desert at night. The wind is cold. The sands stretch endlessly, and far away a glow appears. It is a single flame, burning atop a distant altar. Though small, it is steady. Though fragile, it is strong. The traveler walks toward it, heart comforted, steps lightened. For the flame means more than light. It means that someone waits, that someone tends the sacred fire, not only for themselves, but for all who wander. The ancients knew something quiet, something simple. The eternal flame does not only live in temples, it also burns within. Inside every soul there is a spark. It may dim, it may flicker, but it never vanishes. It waits as patient as dawn. It waits, ready to glow again. Some called it spirit. Some called it life breath. Some called it the seed of the divine. Whatever the name, the flame inside is eternal. It does not end with night. It does not end with sorrow. It waits, shining softly, beyond all shadows. Fire also mirrored the rhythm of the world. In winter its warmth pushed back the cold. In spring it marked renewal, like new shoots rising from soil. In summer it blazed like the sun itself. In autumn it softened, glowing like golden leaves. Always the flame reflected the circle of life. Birth, growth, fading, rest, and yet never ending. The fire dies down, but new wood is placed, and it rises again. So too does life turn, but the flame remains. The flame was not only worshipped, it was listened to. It was a teacher. It taught patience, for it must be tended gently. It taught humility, for it can vanish with neglect. It taught hope, for even a spark, small and quiet, can become a great light. And most of all, it taught presence. For to sit beside the fire is to sit beside the moment itself. The past fades into smoke. The future waits in the unlit wood. Only now glows, only now warms. When people dreamed of fire, they dreamed of guidance. The flame appeared in visions as a torch in the night, as a lantern carried by a hand unseen, as a hearth glowing in the distance. It reminded them, even in sleep, that light is always near. Even in the deepest shadow, the flame does not vanish. It waits, a single ember, a single spark, ready to rise. The sanctuary grows quiet. The stars lean closer, watching with silver eyes. And at the center, the eternal flame still burns. It does not roar. It does not demand. It only glows. It only offers warmth. Now, let the flame's calm settle over you. Feel its glow surround your heart. Feel its warmth ease your breath. You too carry a flame within. It rests steady and sure, a quiet light that never ends. Let us drift onward, guided by its glow. Let us rest as the stars return. Let us dream with the flame eternal beside us. The night is tender. Shadows rest softly against the earth. A silver moon hangs above, its glow quiet as a lullaby. The air carries no weight, only the hush of stillness. And before you, in dreamlike silence, lies a labyrinth. Its paths are drawn in stone, winding gently, turning slowly, yet always moving inward. Not a prison, not a trap, but a journey made of circles. Each step is calm. Each step is simple, and every path leads not outward, but toward the quiet center. Long ago, people carved patterns into the earth. They drew them on temple floors, on the walls of caves, in gardens where flowers leaned to the sun. These were labyrinths. Unlike mazes with walls, a labyrinth held no tricks. There was no wrong turn, no dead end, only one path, leading ever inward, then ever outward again. The journey was not meant to confuse, but to still the mind. The walk itself was the prayer. In Crete, the labyrinth was said to hold a beast, but behind that tale lay older whispers. The idea that a soul must journey inward through twists and turns before it finds its center. In cathedrals of the Middle Ages, labyrinths were set in stone floors. Pilgrims walked their circles slowly, step after step, believing that each turn drew them closer to God. And in gardens of quiet monasteries, paths wound like spirals, inviting monks to walk in silence until the noise of thought faded away. Imagine now that you step forward. The labyrinth stones are cool beneath your feet. The night air wraps around you like a soft cloak. Your steps fall slow, in rhythm with your breath. Inward, you follow the curve. A turn to the left, a turn to the right. It feels like breathing. Inhale, exhale, step, step. The labyrinth is not a puzzle to solve. It is a mirror. It shows how the mind moves, wandering, circling, yet always seeking its still point. Each step is a letting go. Each step is a softening, until thought itself becomes as quiet as the path. The labyrinth, with its spirals and curves, reflects the circle of life. All things return. All things fold back upon themselves. Day becomes night, and night becomes day. Seasons turn, falling leaves giving way to blossoms. The circle does not hurry. It does not rush. It moves at the pace of the stars, at the pace of the tides. And as you walk within the labyrinth, you too move with this rhythm. Your breath joins it. Your heart joins it. The circle holds you, like the arms of the eternal. Many stories have wrapped themselves around the labyrinth. Some spoke of kings and beasts, of heroes wandering through shadow. But beyond the tales of danger was something gentler. The ancients believed the labyrinth was also a womb. To enter it was to return inward, to rest in the mystery of life. And to reach the center was to touch rebirth. For some, the labyrinth was a path to the underworld, a way to meet the spirits of the deep. For others, it was the map of the heavens, showing the long path of the soul toward light. Always, it was a journey both outward and inward. Always, it was more than stone. Now, you reach the heart of the labyrinth. The path has led you here, step by gentle step. At the center, there is no noise, no turning, no circling, only stillness. Here the air feels soft as silk. The moon rests directly above. Time slows, almost disappears. The center is not a place of answers. It is a place of rest. It is where the soul sets down its burdens. It is where silence itself becomes a friend. You breathe, and the center breathes with you. You rest, and the center rests with you. The flame within your chest glows quietly, mirroring the quiet flame of the world. Every labyrinth asks not only to enter, but also to return. The path that led inward now leads outward. Step by step, you follow it. But something has shifted. The outward path is no longer the same as the inward path. You are the same traveler, but you carry the stillness of the center with you. You walk lighter now. You walk softer. The air seems gentler. The night seems deeper. The stars seem closer. This is the gift of the labyrinth. You leave it, yet it remains within you. For the truest labyrinth is not carved in stone. It is not set in gardens. It is not drawn on temple floors. It is within. The mind with its winding turns. The heart with its circles of memory. The soul with its quiet center waiting. When you close your eyes, you step into this labyrinth. You walk through thoughts, through dreams, through memories. And at the center, you always find silence. You always find light. You always find the part of you that has never been lost. Now the night deepens. The labyrinth of stone fades into the labyrinth of the heart. Your breath slows. Your body rests. And still the gentle path continues. No rush. No fear. Only the endless circles of life, of breath, of spirit. Let us drift onward, following the quiet path. Let us rest in the stillness of the center. Let us dream within the labyrinth that always holds us. The night is gentle. The world lies quiet, wrapped in silver shadows. Above, the stars shimmer like lanterns hung in the heavens. The air is cool, carrying the soft hush of eternity. And within this calm, a vision begins to glow. a radiant disk of light, its golden face wide and steady, its edges unfurling into wings. This is the winged sun. It hovers between sky and earth, a guardian of thresholds, a keeper of warmth and renewal. Across ages and lands, its form spread like dawn itself, from the temples of Egypt to the gates of Mesopotamia, a sun that did not only shine, but also soared. In ancient Egypt, the winged sun stretched wide across temple doors. Carved in stone, painted in sacred colors, its wings extended like the embrace of a god. Those who entered beneath it felt the touch of protection. It was said to guard against shadows, to keep safe the sacred space within. The circle of the sun was more than light. It was life itself, the giver of harvest, the pulse of the Nile, the rhythm of the seasons, and the wings, they were the breath of the sky, lifting the disk into eternal flight. When a traveler came to a temple, dust of the desert clinging to their feet, they would look upward and see the winged sun above the gate, and in that moment they knew they stepped beneath the watch of the divine. Far to the east, in the wide lands of Mesopotamia, the sun was also given wings. It stretched across seals and stones, floating above kings and heroes. Sometimes a figure rose within its circle, a spirit or god, holding a bow or a staff of power. The sun was not only a light, but also a chariot of heaven, a wheel turning through time. There too the wings carried meaning. They were the wind of creation, the motion of the cosmos, the unseen hands that lifted life from shadow into dawn. Everywhere the symbol spread, its message was soft but sure. Life is guarded, life is renewed, life is forever held beneath the wings of the eternal sun. The winged sun is made of two parts, both simple, both timeless. The circle, perfect, unbroken, without beginning, without end. It is the shape of eternity. It is the pulse of the heart, the eye of the heavens, the seed from which all life grows. The wings, they are freedom, they are movement, they are the soul rising. Together, circle and wings tell a story, that life itself is lifted, that the eternal is not still, but alive, soaring, embracing all beneath its span. When you picture it now, let it hover in your mind, a golden disk soft with warmth, wings outstretched, feathers shimmering like light on water. It moves, yet it never leaves you. It protects, yet it never presses. It only shines. Each morning, when the desert horizon glowed, the people of Egypt would watch as the first rays spread like wings. The sun was reborn daily, emerging from night's still waters. It was a promise kept over and over that light returns. The winged sun carried this promise. It was not only carved above gates. It was painted on boats, on amulets, on the walls of tombs. To carry the symbol was to carry the dawn itself. To believe in it was to believe that no shadow could last forever. Even in Mesopotamia, where kings ruled vast lands, the winged sun was shown above them. It said that power was not theirs alone. It came from the heavens, from the circle of light, from the wings that touched earth and sky alike. Now imagine yourself beneath this symbol. You stand before an ancient temple. The night is cool. Torches flicker, casting warm halos upon stone walls. Above the entrance, the winged sun glows. Its wings seem alive, feathers trembling in unseen wind. Its circle radiates calm heat, not burning, only soothing. You feel it not on your skin, but deep within. You step forward. The dust of the earth shifts beneath your feet. The world seems lighter here, as if carried. As you walk, you feel the circle's warmth settling into your chest. You feel the wings wrapping gently around your shoulders. This is not a place of command. It is a place of care. You're not told where to go. You are simply held as the symbol holds all. Across many cultures, wings belonged to the messengers. Birds carried prayers to the skies. Feathers were kept as sacred gifts. And so the winged sun was not only a guardian, but a messenger of peace. It whispered of renewal. It reminded those beneath it that the soul too has wings, that the heart too may rise. The circle promised eternity. The wings promised freedom. Together, they were the spirit's journey, safe within light, free within sky. Now the night deepens. The torches fade, and the temple rests in silence. But above the gate, the winged sun still shines. Its glow is steady like the rhythm of breath. You rest beneath it. The circle warms your heart. The wings fold softly around your being. Nothing presses, nothing demands. Only light, only protection, only renewal. You close your eyes, and the symbol follows you inward. It hovers in your mind, a gentle golden flame with wings that never tire. It guards your dreams, it guides your breath, it carries you deeper into stillness. The winged sun has traveled through time. It is stretched across deserts, across rivers, across skies. And still it hovers, a sign of care, a sign of renewal, a sign that light and freedom will always return. Now let the night carry you. Let the circle glow within you. Let the wings spread around you. Rest as the winged sun soars above. Rest as the heavens embrace you. Rest as the stars return and sleep unfolds its quiet light. The night is soft. The air is calm. The stars above shine like silver drops scattered across the endless sky. A hush spreads across the world, as if even the earth itself is listening. In the stillness, a shape begins to glow in the imagination. A vessel, simple yet timeless, the chalice of life. It rests in quiet dignity, as though carved not by human hands, but by the gentle touch of eternity. It waits with patience, offering its depth, its coolness, its promise of renewal. Long before the world became busy with noise, people looked at their cups, their bowls, their vessels of clay and bronze, and they saw something more than tools. They saw a mystery. A cup could carry water, but also hope. It could be lifted, shared, passed from one hand to another, as if life itself were being given. And so, across ages, in temples, in gardens, in quiet gatherings, the chalice rose from the ordinary into the sacred. It became a symbol of nourishment and sharing, of bonds that tie one soul to another. Imagine a temple deep in the desert, its walls cooled by shadow, its air scented with incense and the faint sweetness of figs. At the center rests a chalice, its rim catching the golden light of oil lamps. Priests move slowly, their steps soft against the stone. Each carries a small jug of clear water, pouring gently into the vessel. The sound is like rainfall, a whisper of rivers far away. This chalice is not meant for one alone. It is filled so all may drink, so all may feel the same blessing. In the stillness, each sip feels like a prayer. The chalice of life has many forms. In Egypt, carved stone cups were offered to the gods, symbols of abundance flowing from the Nile. In Greece, a crater stood at feasts, where wine was mixed with water and shared among friends. In Celtic groves, bards spoke of a cauldron that never emptied, a vessel of endless giving. And in later ages, stories told of a grail, a cup of divine promise, its waters bringing healing to the weary of heart. Different lands, different tongues, yet always the same truth. The chalice was a reminder that life flows not to be hoarded, but to be shared. You drift deeper now, following the image of the cup. Its rim is wide, its depth is endless. Look within, and you see not only water, but reflections of the sky, reflections of your own breath, reflections of those who came before. The chalice holds stories. It holds memory. Every drop within it has traveled through cloud and river, through soil and root, through the quiet journey of rain returning to sea. And now it rests in the vessel, offered to you, offered to all, as the essence of renewal. Once in the myths of the North, it was said that a great cauldron stood in the hall of the gods. No matter how many feasts were held, no matter how many hands reached within, it never emptied. It was the breath of generosity made visible, and those who drank were strengthened, their weariness falling away like mist in the morning sun. In these stories, the vessel is never selfish. It gives and gives again, without complaint, without end. It teaches through its silence that the spirit, too, is most alive when it flows outward, when it pours itself into kindness, when it fills the emptiness in another. The chalice of life is not always grand. Sometimes it is a simple bowl of clay, cupped in the hands of a mother as she gives her child a sip of warm milk. Sometimes it is a wooden cup, shared between wanderers at a fire by the road. Sometimes it is only the folded hands that offer comfort, or a word that lifts the heart. Every gift, every act of giving is a small chalice, a vessel carrying life from one heart to another. You drift further inward. Imagine now a garden at twilight. A fountain sings in the center, its waters falling into a wide stone basin. The air is scented with jasmine, and moths flutter softly in the lamplight. This, too, is a chalice. It gathers what falls from above and gives it back in beauty and sound. Birds dip their wings in its coolness. Travelers cup their hands to drink, and you, too, may lean close and taste its stillness. The water is sweet. It feels like a blessing flowing across the tongue. It feels like peace, Across time, the chalice was linked with the deep waters of the spirit. Water was never only water. It was memory, dream, birth, renewal. It was the first element the child knows, floating in the womb of the mother. It was the last element poured over the resting body, a final blessing on its journey. The chalice gathered all these meanings. It said, life is a circle. What you drink has been here before. What you offer will return again. No drop is lost. All flows onward. And so the chalice invites you now, not to rush, not to grasp, but to rest. It asks nothing of you but stillness. It waits with patience. It shines with gentleness. It reminds you that your spirit, too, is a vessel, already full of light, already carrying the waters of peace. When you close your eyes, when you breathe softly, you can feel that flow. It moves through you, quiet and steady. It nourishes you. It connects you with all who have ever lived, all who will ever live, for the water within you is the same water that has always been. Now picture a great hall. Its ceiling is high, its floor lit by 1,000 small flames. In the center stands the chalice, larger than a person, its sides engraved with vines and stars. Crowds gather in silence. Each approaches in turn, not with greed, but with reverence. Each drinks and walks away with eyes softened, with hearts at ease. No one leaves empty. No one leaves forgotten. The chalice pours itself into every soul without end. Let the image stay with you, a vessel that never empties, a flow that never stops, a gift that is always shared, like the river finding its way to the sea, like the rain falling softly upon the earth, like the breath moving gently in and out of your chest. The chalice of life continues. It whispers, rest now, be still, you are nourished, you are safe, and so the story slows. The chalice remains, glowing quietly in the dream. It does not vanish. It does not fade. It stays, always full, waiting for the next hand, the next heart, the next breath. Rest now in its presence. Feel its coolness, its promise, its endless giving. The chalice of life is within you, around you, beyond you. You are held in its circle. Now let us drift onward, into deeper stillness, into gentler dreams. As the waters of the spirit continue their quiet song, the night deepens. The air grows still, like a hush resting upon the earth. Candles flicker low, their flames swaying gently, mirroring the quiet rhythm of breath. Above, the stars glimmer, circling in their endless paths across the sky. We return now to the ancient shape, the oldest of all symbols, the circle. It has no beginning, no ending, only the calm promise of wholeness. It holds us as the horizon holds the sea, as the moon holds the tide, as the heart holds memory. Since the first dawn, humans have looked at the round sun, the round moon, the round rings of rippling water. They felt the circle speaking to them, a shape of return, of safety, of completion. Around the fire, tribes gathered in circles. They shared food, shared stories, shared warmth. The circle drew everyone close. No one left outside. All faces touched by the same light. In temples, stone columns were raised in circles, their shadows turning with the sun. In sacred groves, dancers moved in circles, feet brushing the earth like whispers. In the heavens, planets turned, seasons cycled, and all life followed the same round path. The circle is the breath. It expands with the inhale. It softens with the exhale. Each breath returning to itself, a quiet wheel turning without end. The circle is the day. The sun rises, arches high, and falls back into the horizon, only to return again. The circle is the year. Spring awakens, summer ripens, autumn releases, winter rests, and then spring again opens her hands. All things flow into the circle, and all things return. Imagine yourself now in a quiet clearing at twilight. The grass is cool beneath you. The last rays of the sun are fading, painting the sky in soft amber and violet. Around you, stones stand tall, forming a great circle that has endured for ages. Each stone is silent, yet each carries memory. They have watched countless dawns, countless stars, countless lives passing by. You sit in the center, safe within their embrace. The air hums gently, as though the earth itself breathes in slow rhythm. Here you feel the circle, not drawn on parchment, not carved into wood, but living, breathing, a presence that surrounds and protects. In many lands, the circle was seen as holy. To the Celts, it was the endless knot. To the Hindus, it was the mandala, a sacred map of the universe. To the desert mystics, it was the wheel of fire, burning but never consumed. To the native peoples, the circle was the medicine wheel, where all beings, animal, plant, stone, star, found their place. Everywhere, the circle whispered the same truth. All is connected. All returns. You drift deeper now. Picture the ocean waves, rolling out, rolling back. Their edges are circles, soft rings that kiss the shore. Each wave bows, each wave retreats, and yet the sea is never broken. So too the circle of life. Birth opens the path, growth fills it with light. Departure closes the arc, but never ends the whole. The circle continues, drawing each soul back into the wide embrace of eternity. Long ago, sages told of the Ouroboros, the serpent swallowing its own tail. It was not a symbol of fear, but of wonder, a reminder that endings feed beginnings, and beginnings flow into endings. Nothing is wasted, nothing is lost. All is part of the circle. The snake glides endlessly, not trapped, but free, always moving, always whole. And so the circle lives within you too, in the ring of your heartbeat, in the roundness of your gaze, in the rhythm of sleep and waking. You are a living circle, a breath within the breath of the universe. When you close your eyes, you enter that circle more deeply. You drift into dreams, but you are never lost. You return each dawn to the waking world, rested, renewed. Even sleep itself is a circle. The body rests, the mind wanders, the soul touches silence, and then slowly, gently, you awaken again, carrying the peace of the night with you. Now imagine the circle as a great wheel of light. It turns slowly in the heavens, a ring woven from stars. Each spoke of the wheel is a path, a journey taken by countless souls. Each turning brings them closer to the still center. At that center there is no fear, no sorrow, no struggle, only stillness, only peace. The circle does not bind, it frees. It holds everything gently, without end. The journey that began long ago now finds its resting place here. Every story leads back to the circle. Every symbol returns to it. The labyrinth spirals into its center. The winged sun arcs across the sky. The chalice pours its waters back into the source. All paths curve into the circle completed, and here you rest, not outside, not apart, but within, safe, whole, at peace. The circle whispers softly, "You are never broken. You are never lost. You are part of the endless return." Its edges glow like moonlight on still water. Its center pulses like a heartbeat, quiet and steady. You float within it as gently as a leaf upon a stream. The circle completes itself, and you too are complete. Now the night draws close. The stars drift overhead in patient circles. The moon smiles down, round and radiant. Your breath softens, your body loosens, your thoughts drift like petals on water. The circle is around you. The circle is within you. The circle is endless, and in its embrace you are safe. You are whole. You are home. Let the circle hold you now. Let it carry you gently into rest. The circle is completed, and so you may drift onward, into silence, into peace, into dreams as soft as the night itself.